Hi, friends. Going to teach you how to checkmate with just a queen and a king against an opposing king, continuing my series where I go over some chess basics. So, the first thing you want to do when you have the queen and you're facing the opponent king is you want to move your queen so that if she was a knight, the opposing king would be in check. You can accomplish this with a couple squares. You could go to d3, and if the queen was a knight, 1, 2, turn, the king would be in check. You could go to f3, and if the queen was a knight, 1, 2, turn, the king would be in check. And you could also move to d7, and if the queen was a knight, 1, 2, turn, the king would be in check. I like d3 because I like to view things forward. And what this does is it creates a box. And what we're going to do is we're going to make our box and we're going to make it smaller and smaller and smaller until the king is trapped on the edge of the chessboard. And that's where we'll be able to checkmate him. So let's say the king goes to f6. You simply follow the pattern. In this case, queen to e4, 1, 2, turn. And what we've done is we've made our box smaller. The king cannot move into check, of course. So the king is trapped. If the king goes to g5, you go to f3, 1, 2, turn. If you're noticing, once you get the queen set up in the knight formation, you could simply copy the king's movement. So the king goes up diagonally, we go up diagonally. The king goes backwards diagonally, we go backwards diagonally. Again, we are making this box smaller until the king gets on the edge of the board. And when he does, we no longer follow the pattern. When he goes to the edge of the board, we simply find the squares to trap him on the edge. So in this case, you could only move to d7. And now the king is trapped on the edge of the board. If he goes to f8, we get our king in the game. If you go to g8, we get our king in the game. If we go to h8, we get our king in the game. You simply march your king up the board until you can checkmate the black king. King keeps the queen safe. Queen attacks all the squares. Now, the only thing to be careful about is if we go back to the beginning here, the king can try to be difficult and he can go to f4. So we go to e2, we make the box smaller. He goes to f3, we make the box smaller. He goes to h2. We can't move a nice distance away anymore. So we simply move up the chessboard. And now we've made this box. The king moves. And we can do many things here. We could go to e2. And we've trapped him here with the king just only able to go to h1. And now we need to march our king around the queen so that the king can support the queen to deliver checkmate. The other thing to be worried about is, and why you do not continue the pattern when the king goes to the edge of the board, is if you just keep on putting the king a nice distance away, you would never want to move queen f7 here because what you've done is you've stalemated the king. The king is not allowed to move into check, and he has no legal squares. So this would be a tie. You're not trying to tie, you're trying to checkmate. So when the king does go into the corner, of course, we don't go to f7, attacking all the squares. Instead, we can choose a square like g5, and now the king is trapped in this box. He can only move to these squares, and we march our king into the game. And boom. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Gonna have a video out next about how to checkmate with the king and rook. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate you.